It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Tuesday's Travel and Cruise Industry News podcast on the 14th day of May 2024, coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia. A little on the cool side. I'd like to get back to that good hot weather again. Had to have the heat on this morning again for a while. Not long, just about a half hour. But yeah, it was cold again today. All right, so of course I have a special guest this morning as the lead story on today's show. Also today, the headlines for today, which we'll get to eventually: Sapphire Princess cancels call on Ketchikan. The Ordoc project in Skagway is finally completed. Yay! Singapore to merge terminals. Travel documents confirmed. And a ship employee arrested for child porn. Another one? Good Lord. That and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. If you're listening via the podcast, you're always welcome here. You can access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. All right, folks, before I get to my guest today is National Buttermilk Biscuit Day. Now, for an old Southern boy like me, that's an important day. I wish that some of the cruise people would learn how to make good buttermilk biscuits, because I've never had a decent biscuit on a cruise ship. And then they try to do biscuits and gravy, and it's awful. Again, I'm a Southern boy, so that's an important food group to me. So, but today's a buttermilk biscuit day. All right, it's there's not a whole lot I can say about my guest today. Justin and I have been good friends for several years now. We've traveled together. We've hosted a cruise together. We went to Alaska together. He's been on this channel several times, and he's interviewed me before. We're just it's just a thing that we'll always be friends. So I'm glad to welcome him back to the podcast. So with no further ado, Mr. Bucketlist, welcome back to a Chillie chat. What's happening?
What is going on, Chillie? It's good to see you, and thank you for having me on.
All right, so before we get into, I got a bunch of questions for you, but there's a couple things I want to cover first. These are clearly important issues.
Oh, boy.
Now, you just got back from Hawaii, which was your 50th state. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I got my 50th state 2 years ago now.
Okay.
But I'm so much older than you are. So you getting your 50th state this early in life, man, that's freaking awesome.
Thank you.
So, but while you're out there in Hawaii, you got on a horse.
Oh, yeah.
And look at this. You're playing cowboy in Hawaii. You even got a cowboy hat on. Now, you also got to keep in mind that that's followed up when you tried to be a camel jockey in the same year. So you go from camel jockeying to being a cowboy, and then what was next? Were you going to come running out of the woods on a dinosaur? I didn't understand any of that. So tell us about Hawaii.
Yes. So I'll try to keep it simple. A lot of people told me that I should save the best for the last, which is Hawaii, and I thought that was just overkill, but it was true. I mean, it is so much to do out there. Obviously, it's known for many movie sites, including Jurassic Park. Pearl Harbor's out there, and all the different islands. It was phenomenal, Chillie. I think that was literally the best all-around cruise I've ever had, because it was so much to do before the cruise and then on the cruise itself. I mean, you've seen the pictures, obviously. It was a lot going on. It was amazing.
All right. In case we got some audience that lives out on the moon, What was your cruise to get to Hawaii? And then
Sure.
once you were there, you got on the Pride of America. Is that correct?
Yeah, so no, I didn't cruise out there. What I did was I flew from Florida, flew from Florida to Honolulu, and so I spent 2 days in
Okay.
Honolulu and toured and did the movie sites and all that stuff. And then I got on the Pride of America that Sunday, so I was
Okay.
there for 2
So
days.
your cruise was the Pride of America, which went around to all kinds of different islands.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Now, the Pride of America is an older ship. It's also a smaller ship.
It is.
Uh, so you didn't have all the bells and whistles that you're used to on a lot of the cruises.
And I will say that. So that was one of my concerns. I mean, a lot of people kept saying, "Oh, the Pride of America's old, it's small, you're not gonna like it, it's raggedy." Like I've heard so many bad stories about it. And for me, I mean, honestly, I really don't care. I mean, my cruise before that was on Margaritaville at Sea, and then before that, it was Icon of the Seas. So, I mean, I'm used to a variety. But I will tell you this: I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, one, the dining on the ship was amazing. I mean, they had like a Hawaiian style buffet almost every night. They had the complimentary Asian dining area, which I've never seen before on a cruise ship. I mean, everything was good, and then the ship itself was like in great condition. So I know they had like a short dry dock before we got on, and then they also had a couple of dry docks before that. You would never tell that it's an old ship. I mean, yeah, it's smaller, but as far as the interior, it was beautiful. So it was a great cruise.
All right. Do you have an account of how many days at sea you've done this year?
Oh man, this year. So let me just kind of. So the cruises I've been on so far, at least from 2024. So January, I did the yacht club on MSC Seashore, and
Uh-huh.
then January after that, I also did Icon of the Seas and Agua sailing, and then I just did Margaritaville at Sea. Then I did the Pride of America, and then I'll also be on the Islander for a media cruise next month out of Tampa.
A media cruise?
Yeah, my first one. I'm pretty excited. So yeah, Margaritaville at Sea, the new ship that launches next month. They
Yeah,
have a preview sailing a couple days before the inaugural sailing. I'll be on that when they invited me a couple days ago.
that is so cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've always wanted to cruise out of Tampa. You know, I live in Tampa, so I've always wanted to cruise out of here, and to do
Yeah,
that on a media cruise is a big deal.
I love cruising from Tampa, and I can't wait to get on the new ship. I
Yeah.
One of the things that I can't say concerns me. It was one of the problems I had with, I'll call it the old ship,
Mm-hmm.
is the accessibility was horrible.
Mm.
But I don't know about this new ship. This is a newer ship. It's a little bigger. Maybe they have some accessibility built in on it. But yeah, the old ship, I couldn't get on the old ship now because of my chair. There would be
Wow.
no cabins that it would fit in.
And
So,
it's crazy to say that because now that I think about it, when I was on there last time, being that it was my second time on the ship, I had more time to kind of pay attention to my surroundings. And I
right.
didn't see a single chair like yours. So I believe it. You're exactly right.
Yep.
And the elevators
Yep.
are super small too.
So it'll be interesting. That's one thing you can watch for on the new one.
Yeah, I'll look out
You
for
can
you.
give me some. You can give me some reports back on just what the new Margaritaville at Sea's about. So,
Cool.
it's my opinion, and of course, my opinion is worth nothing,
Oh.
that what they should do is start. All right, they got two ships now. So you
Mhm.
sail on one of the ships. Instead of going just to Freeport, it goes to some place where there's a Margaritaville resort
Mhm.
and drop you off there for 4 days and stay on the land resort. And then one of the ships comes and picks you back up wherever that is and takes you back to the port. And work so they're doing the Margaritaville at Sea resorts and cruises together. I'd love to see something like that done.
So they actually are doing something like that. They do have the cruise and stay now. What they basically do is, like you said, they drop people off at the Margaritaville Resort. They stay there for
Okay.
2 days, and then the second sailing from the next sailing comes back and picks them back up. So it's the same ship, it's just a different itinerary.
Awesome.
Hmm.
All right. So you went to Europe about 14 times in the last year.
More than enough, I'll say that.
How did you do flying that long?
Oh,
Well, you
so
flew a long time to get to Hawaii too.
yes, and I can say this right now. So I think I'm more tired from flying to Hawaii than I am from flying to Athens, Greece. Either way, they both still sucked. But it's just, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
in Athens, when I got there, I went straight to sleep. When I got to Hawaii, I started exploring as soon as I touched down. So it's just completely different. But it's tough. It's really tough.
I am. I'm just not good on flights anymore.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I'm going to Alaska again in August,
Hmm.
and I dread flying to Vancouver. I mean, I love being on the trip, and I'm one of the stops. I get to work with several of the whale boats on
Okay.
getting the whale watching excursions what they need to do to make them accessible. So
Okay.
there's actually a purpose in my trip this time, which is nice. So, and I've got a little group going. It's not a huge group, but it's a little group.
That's cool.
All right, so let's look ahead. What's next for Justin, Mr. Bucket List?
Cool. Let me actually pull out my phone because I always tend to leave stuff off. So, like I said, as you know, I'll be on the Islander next month. That's June 11th.
Right,
And then I'll be doing Utopia of the Seas on September 13th.
very nice.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. That's actually going to be my first cruise after being Diamond on Royal Caribbean. So I'm excited for the free drinks and stuff.
Excellent. Yeah.
And then I got a short cruise on Carnival Glory. So just a little, basically a Thanksgiving cruise. And then I'll be doing the Mardi Gras, the Western Caribbean cruise on December 7th. Celebrity Silhouette in December. And then potentially, it depends, but I do at least have a down payment on a world cruise on January 5th on Magnificent. So we'll see on MSC.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'm trying to work it out because I have another cruise the one we talked about earlier before the stream on the Prima in April. So now they're kind of conflicting, and I can just cancel one or the other. But that's the goal, at least for right now. It's 116 days, 116 nights on MSC.
Sweet. That's what I've always wanted to do. I've never been able to afford it. So,
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
yeah. Yeah, I know. All right. So, I have to ask you about it.
Sure.
You're right at the moment, you're set up to do a hosted cruise on the Prima.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have any information yet on Prima, where it's going, what it's doing?
I do. So essentially, what took place was I really want to, now that I've done all 50 states, I'm kind of looking at other islands and just other places I haven't been to that are kind of popular. And so Bermuda just kind of stuck out to me. I always hear about it, but I didn't really know much about it. And so I looked it up, and they got a really cheap cruise on the Prima. Usually, at least going to Bermuda is usually pretty expensive, at least from what I've heard. But they had a cheap cruise on the Prima for under $1,100. I said, why not? And so like I said, either that or the world cruise. It just really depends on how things work out. But I'll be doing the Prima April 1st of 2025 to Bermuda.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so the world cruise is 100 and how many days?
116 nights.
If you did the whole thing,
If
but
I
you
did the
could
whole
do
thing
it.
in
You could do
quarters.
that in like 3 segments and get off on
Exactly.
one of the segments and go do the Prima.
Yeah, and that's why I need to contact them, and because I mean I literally just booked the Prima a couple days ago, and so I need to contact them and see what my options are, and that's why I'm like kind of up in the air about it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do maybe like I said, just a segment, maybe like a 20 or 30-day segment, and then just get off. Mm-hmm.
I was on Magnifica. I like Magnifica.
Okay,
I did.
good.
I did really well on that. I had a little group on Magnifica. I had a whole bunch of Canada ladies that were terrifically fun,
Oh, cool.
and a fellow down in your neck of the woods that's Gary older than dirt. He was on that. He's going on several other cruises with me. So we've gone in a little different directions, but
Mm-hmm.
anytime you're doing anything, Mr. Bucket List, you're always welcome on this channel, and I'll promote anything you're doing. Just
Thank you.
just because I'm not involved with Passion for Cruises anymore. I don't have anything against them.
Yeah.
Certainly not Pete. Pete and I've been friends longer than you and I've been friends.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm all in. Anything that you're doing with them always has a place here, and any way that I can help and send some people your way, I'll do it. Uh, so that's the way I am. So,
Thank you. Thank you. And like I was telling you, Chillie, before the stream, I do want to cruise with you again. And I mean, I know you are kind of just a specialist now in Alaska. And so, I mean, obviously, I only went to that one section of Alaska that we went to in our cruise, but I do want to check out like Skagway and some other places. So I'll
yeah.
definitely be reaching out to you.
Well, I actually got in a little trouble yesterday. I had done multiple stories from Skagway with the new dock,
Chillie,
and
Chillie, I had an unexpected visitor. Give me 1 second, okay?
yeah, that's no problem. So that's Mr. Bucketlist, by the way, folks. He had an unexpected visitor. That means somebody, and he's like me. He lives on his own, so we'll give him a second to get back, and if not, I'm trying to find out what happened here on my other silly
I
computer.
am back. I apologize.
So
So
he's
I had a
back. We
package.
don't have a camera yet. There we go.
I had a
Now we
package from
have
Amazon.
Mr. Bucket List back. Hey, those things happened. Oh, you have one of those silly little teeny tiny where are they mine? One of those goofy microphones.
I do.
Where is
Oh,
it? One of
okay.
those. I never can get the damn things to work. Of course, I'm not very good with technical things. So, but yeah, I see you've got that. Do you use two mics or one mic?
So just this one. So I was having issues like yourself, and I tried to use two. It was giving me issues. So this one sounds pretty good. So I just stick with this one.
All right. And are you using your phone as a webcam?
No, this is a
Oh, you're using a real camera.
yeah, real camera.
Yeah, yeah. Well, see, you gone way past me. I still use my phone, so I gotta have a microphone that I can throw stuff. See how nicely I said that? Politically correctly, I said that stuff at my phone and I have it work. So now, because the headset doesn't go through my phone; it goes through my computer.
Oh,
So I stay confused.
shoot.
All right. I will. You're going to have to. As a matter of fact, this would be cool. When you're on the new Margaritaville thing, if they have a decent signal, let's do a live stream from there, even if we tape it.
Let's do it because I mean we leave out of Tampa, so I'll have service there. So yeah, let's do it during the sail away. That works.
Okay, that would be
Yeah,
awesome.
cool.
I'd enjoy that because I definitely, and I want to know about accessibility on that.
Yeah,
Of course, I haven't trained you yet in what to look for, but
I mean I remember some of the things from our Alaska when we talked and sat. So now I'll definitely, and the thing is, I actually have a really good relationship with Margaritaville at Sea. So I mean, they actually want to hear that type of feedback. So I'll let them know that hey, I have someone that
that's great.
yeah, I'll let
Well,
them know.
I went on them. I had, matter of fact, the former CEO. I
Hmm.
had him as a guest on the show, and then went on them. I did a cruise out of Tampa, drove across the state, did Margaritaville at Sea, got off that, drove back to Tampa, and did the other cruise out of Tampa. So I
Mm.
did the Carnival, then the Margaritaville, and then the Royal, all in one
Oh,
trip.
I remember
So
that trip. Yep, I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah,
Cool.
that was a good one for me. All right,
Oh,
Mr. Bucket List, I am so glad to have you back on the show.
thank
And
you.
again, you got to come on more often. You got to keep doing this crazy stuff. And
Yeah.
I'll keep coming up with things like the camel jockey and the cowboy all at one year. I never heard anybody doing that.
Well,
So,
I do want to say thank you, and I'm looking at the comments. I just want to say hey to everybody. I saw it was great to meet Katie. So we talked about this before, but I met Katie on Icon. So Katie, I see you out
oh
there. And it
yeah,
was
that's
good
right. You were
meeting
on
you.
Icon with Katie. I
Yeah, we
didn't
got it.
go over and I haven't seen. Well, let's just jump over here real quick.
Yeah,
There's Katie. Kenneth's with us up in Pennsylvania. Gretchen in Ohio. There's Hot Air Tom. I'm doing a lot of sailing with Hot Air Tom coming up. Mike's with us. He's on the other side of the pond. There's Cindy. She's down in your neck of the woods. Sailed with her out of Tampa before.
Okay.
There's Elizabeth. She's down in Playa del Carmen, across from Cozumel.
Cool.
Another hot day down there. She's been having it in the mid 90s.
Ooh.
Oh, I have another question for you too. With the heat index, it's already 98. I'm still thawing out from Antarctica. Yeah, she was down in Antarctica
Oh
recently.
wow, Elizabeth, that's amazing.
Yay, Tampa resident too. I'm booked on Islander November 29th, right after Thanksgiving, Cindy
Okay.
says. She's been on Margaritaville at Sea. What, 3 times, Cindy? 2 or 3 times.
Cool.
She's gone over and sailed on that several times.
Okay.
Did you use NCL Air to Hawaii, she asks.
I did not. So I saw that was an option, but I was just honestly I wanted to get there earlier, and I don't know if they will allow that, and so I just booked it on my own. But I will say that actually the flights were pretty cheap. Hey, Mark.
Look who's
Thank you, Mark.
here.
I
There's
appreciate that,
crazy
Mark.
Mark from Canada.
Mark, try to
Mark
join
was,
us if you can on the Prima. I know you're up in Canada and not too far from New York. If you can, try to join us.
yeah, you've only done one cruise with Mark. I've done 2.
Yeah, I've heard y'all had a good time that second time around. I'm pretty jealous.
We did. We did. I love Mark to death. See, Katie says hi. Hope we can see a live stream. Yeah, I hope we see a live stream from the Islander. That's done. Just book
It's
that
happening.
now, Cindy.
Yeah.
We used NCL Air when we went to Hawaii in 2022. I've never done that, quite frankly, and I'm actually getting ready. When I get out, I've got a doctor's appointment today.
Okay.
This afternoon, pulmonologist, and then tomorrow I get to go get stuck in the butt.
Oh.
But I get pulmonology today, and when I get home, I'm going to call because I'm doing my Alaska cruise on Princess and see if there's Princess Air to Vancouver that I might get a decent rate. I've never done that before. I've always done my own bookings.
Same. Yep.
Yeah, so that's a good suggestion, y'all. Elizabeth says, great to see Mr. Bucketlist. Hit the like button, everybody. Absolutely, y'all. Hit the like button. There's Roger down in Jacksonville. Cindy says, awesome to hear Tom to use them for our Rome cruises. Todd's with us. Good morning, Todd. Cindy's here 2 times on Margaritaville at Sea. Love the ship. I like the different deviation.
Okay, thank you, Cindy.
I want to do more than 5 days.
Yeah,
Heat
I
Rock
understand
Scoth
that.
is here's a lady. I keep hearing that NCL is a great ship, but I've heard they can nickel and dime you to death. Thanks for the stream, you two. She asked yesterday some questions about Hawaii that I didn't have the answers to, and I said, "You got to come back tomorrow." Yesterday was the first day I think she was in the room, and she came back. So, thank you. So I hope you heard something you needed from Justin on the NCL. We got 2 round trips from Orlando to Rome for $1,200. Whoa!
Wow.
And Orlando to San Juan for $400. Wow.
Yeah, that is great. My goodness.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, so I'll see if Princess does as well as Norwegian does. So, all right, Mr. Justin, I got to go do some news.
Okay.
I still do a news show here.
You do. So, I'll be in the audience.
Right.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So thanks for being here, my friend.
You're welcome.
And we'll definitely get together on the Islander.
Yes, we will. Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Justin. We'll see you soon.
Take care.
And that's Mr. Bucketlist, my good friend. I thoroughly enjoy him. We had such a good time the cruises we've done together. So, all right, I'll be back with the news portion of today's show after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. According to Kara Tetley, executive director of Ketchikan Visitor Center, Sapphire Princess was not able to call in Ketchikan yesterday, May the 13th, due to mechanical issues. Social media reports are calling the problem propulsion issues, but there's no confirmation from Princess about this. Also, some of the social media reports are claiming that College Fjord is also canceled, but again, no word from Princess. According to multiple sources in Alaska, the ore dock construction project in Skagway has been completed. Join us on a fabulous cruise with Chillie to Alaska in August as we sail on the Grand Princess on August 14th from Vancouver to Anchorage. Solo start at only $614, double occupancy at $395 plus taxes and port charges. On the cruise with Chillie to Alaska in August, just use the link below or call me for the cruise with Chillie to Alaska in August. It'll be a great time, folks. Singapore's two cruise terminals, the Singapore Cruise Center at Harbourfront and the Marina Bay Cruise Center Singapore at Marina South, will be consolidated in coming years. According to the Straits Times, the move would free up space and allow a continuous promenade to be established as part of the Greater Southern Waterfront. 3 berths near Harbourfront, Tanjong Pagar, Kapel, and Brani will move to Tuas by 2027. Carnival Cruise Line has responded to guest questions and confirmed what travel documents are necessary for Carnival Pride's May 19th departure, currently planned to leave Norfolk but return to Baltimore. Typically, when a cruise ship leaves one U.S. home port but returns to a different home port, passports are required. For this one sailing, however, passports are not required. Brand Ambassador John Hill confirmed the travel documentation requirements as they apply to this one unique cruise. A 33-year-old crew member was arrested at Port Miami on charges of possessing child pornography. Komang Perianta was taken into custody after U.S. Customs and Border Protection conducted a search of his cabin where 2 videos of child sexual abuse material were discovered. On one, the child was reportedly 5 years old. Following his arrest, bond was set by a local judge at $20,000. The name of the company he was working for, nor the ship he was assigned to, have been released. Author Ivan Cox is delighted to announce a comical cruise in the Caribbean to celebrate his hilarious novel, Cruise Ship Doctor. The Norwegian epic will depart from Port Canaveral on November the 16th for a rollicking 7-day cruise through the Caribbean, where Cox will read from Cruise Ship Doctor and regale passengers with humorous behind-the-scenes true anecdotes from his adventures as a cruise ship doctor. The Cruise Ship Doctor Cruise, sailing November 16th from Port Canaveral. Prices start at $639 for double occupancy, and solo start at $1,049 plus taxes and port charges. Join us on November 16th from Port Canaveral for the cruise ship Dr. Cruise. And that's going to be terrific fun. Any of you that have read the book, the nurse character in the book is going to be on the cruise with us, which is going to be quite entertaining. The whole cruise is going to be entertaining. So, all right, let's see. That wraps up the news portion of the day. Wasn't a whole lot of news today, folks, which is good since I had, Mr. Bucketlist on. All right, let's jump over and see if there was any more info in the chat room. Let's see, Mr. Bucketlist. There's Joanne's with us. Hi, Joanne. Cindy says NCL does not nickel and dime you. Use their free at sea. Yeah, I love the free at sea. And, and the Princess Plus is the same way. If you're on Princess, it's well worth the money for both of those. Joanne says, thanks to Justin. I'll look into that, Cindy. Cindy Lee at sea. Thank you. Very nice. As far as nickel and diming, I actually had a $98 refund at the end of my cruise in Hawaii. That's pretty cool. As long as you opt for the free at sea package, you are usually pretty set. Yeah. It covers everything. Thanks, Mr. Bucketlist. We do Disney cruises often, but we are looking for a better price to go to Hawaii. Which ship would you suggest? Most of the things costing extra are specific to certain passengers, so look at the fare and it's reasonable, and things that everyone enjoys are mostly included. I'm talking about free for games. Hot Air says bingo, deal or no deal, and the go-kart. Go-kart's free? Yeah, no. Got to pay for them, don't you? I can recommend the Pride of America. It's very affordable and sails out of Hawaii 365 days a year. They have a good relation with the locals and operators out there. Also, as a solo cruiser, I paid less than $1,300 for my cruise, which is less than what I actually spent on a standard Caribbean cruise out of Florida. Wow. I had no idea that was $1,300 for a solo. That's awesome. I've never looked it up, Justin. That's great. Thanks, Mr. Bucketlist. What cruise company is Proud of America? It's Norwegian. Norwegian Cruise Line, Proud of America. Thanks, I'll look into it. Sorry for flooding your chat, Chillie. Oh, my goodness. I like it. I subscribed to your channel today, Mr. Bucketlist. Very good. That's why we do this. We always like to get new subscribers. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. Again, this afternoon, I get to go to the pulmonologist. That's the people that trying to keep me breathing. Most of you know I do okay sitting still. But if I tried to stand up, I would have to have this going, which I keep close by at all times. So I can't. 10 steps is about all I can walk anymore. I'm okay in my chair. Once I get in my chair, that's sitting. So, the last cruise I was on, I went the whole cruise and never had my portable oxygen unit on. Never once. But then I had a wheelchair accessible room. I could roll into the bathroom, transfer to do my business in there. I didn't have to stand up and walk. That's what gives me the problems when I have to walk at all. In my house, I have to walk. I can't, my house is not wheelchair accessible. It was built in 1903. They didn't know what wheelchairs were in those days. So I have to walk, like to go to the bathroom or go to eat to the dining room, or to go to the living room in the evenings. We get together in there for we do a lot of trivia games with the family. And that's a walk. I got to have the oxygen going full time. So, yeah. But when I'm sitting still like this, I don't need it. I don't know. That's weird. And they can't. I've got a couple things to run by them today. Like one of the things that I've noticed, and this is really weird, folks, when I shave, when I try to shave under my neck, when I tilt my head back, my O2 level goes out as bad as if I'm walking. So anyway, that's just pulmonary stuff. So I go to them today, and then tomorrow I get stuck in the butt with a needle that's about that long. That ain't fun at all. I will use some very adulterated language tomorrow when they stick me with that thing again. Every 6 months I get to do that. All right, that's going to wrap it up today. Again, my thanks to Mr. Bucketlist. That was just awesome. And all of you guys were come on, tongue. All of you guys who are with me in the chat room, remember, smash that thumbs up. That's a tremendous help. And if you have not subscribed, please take this as my invitation to join us for this silliness every day at 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. For now, guys, that's it for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry, so if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.